Usually when we sit down to talk about AI, it feels like we're discussing a cool new gadget or a faster way to write emails. But this week feels different. It feels like the ground is actually shifting under our feet.
Oh, absolutely. The headlines this week aren't just incremental updates. We're seeing a fundamental change in what AI is and, frankly, what it's about to do to the economy. It's a mix of miraculous medical news and some genuinely unnerving shifts in the job market.
Right, let's start with the miracle part before we get to the existential dread. I saw something about Mount Sinai and a system called V2P.
Yeah, this is huge. So, for years, genetic testing has been like looking at a map with a few warning signs. You might know you have a risk for something, but Mount Sinai's new AI V2P changes the resolution of that map completely. It doesn't just flag risky genes, it links specific mutations to the exact diseases they will cause.
So, instead of a weather report saying 30% chance of rain, it's saying it's going to rain at 4 p.m. and here's exactly how much.
That's a perfect way to put it. It's moving from probability to prediction. This allows for diagnosis before symptoms even appear. Imagine knowing you're going to develop a specific condition years in advance. You can start personalized treatment before you're even sick. It's going to transform genetic medicine from a guessing game into our precision science.
That is incredible. But then we pivot to the other side of the coin. While AI is saving our lives, it also seems to be coming for our livelihoods. OpenAI dropped GPT-5 too, and they aren't calling it a chatbot anymore, are they?
No, the chatbot era is effectively over. We are entering the era of the agent GPT-5. 2 isn't designed to just chat with you, it's designed to work for you. It's autonomous. You give it a goal, and it goes off and completes long, complex professional tasks without you holding its hand.
I read the stat on this, and I had to double-check it. It matches or beats human experts in over 70% of evaluated jobs.
70%. Let that sink in. It's setting new coding records. It's digesting massive documents in one go. We aren't talking about it writing a cute poem anymore. We're talking about it doing the work of a junior analyst, a coder, or a researcher faster and arguably better than a human.
And Google isn't sitting this one out either.
Not at all. They're pushing Gemini 3, which is leaning heavily into deep research. It can plan, execute, and summarize complex research projects by itself. But the kicker with Gemini is the generative UI.
Wait, explain that. Generative UI?
So, usually, if you want an app or a website, you need a designer and a developer. Gemini 3 can just build the interface instantly based on what you need. It creates the tool you need to use on the fly. The barrier to entry for building software just evaporated.
It's overwhelming. You have these systems that can think, research, code, and build. But here is the paradox, and this is what confuses me. If the technology is becoming godlike, why are we hearing about a reality check in the market? Why are valuations dropping?
It's the classic hangover after the party. For the last 2 years, investors threw money at anything with .ai in the domain name. But now, the hype is fading, and the market is asking the hard question. Where is the profit?
So, the shiny demos aren't enough anymore?
Exactly. We're seeing a correction. Companies that are just hype are crashing. The only ones surviving are the ones with real revenue and strong fundamentals. It's actually a healthy thing. It's cleaning out the noise. But it means the industry is under immense pressure to prove it can actually make money, not just headlines.
And I suppose that's where the regulators come in too. It feels like the adults are finally entering the room.
They are. The European Union is tightening oversight significantly. They're introducing whistleblower tools and these things called regulatory sandboxes. Essentially, they're trying to balance keeping the innovation alive while making sure these companies are accountable. Because when you have AI that can replace 70% of human tasks, you can't just leave that unregulated.
It really feels like we're at a crossroads. On one hand, we have the promise of curing diseases before they start. On the other, we have a market that's crashing back to reality, and a workforce that is looking at GPT-5 too, and wondering, what is left for me to do?
That is the question of the decade. As AI moves from tool to agent, humans have to move from doers to architects. We have to become the ones directing the symphony rather than playing the instruments.
But are we ready to put down the instruments?
Ready or not, the music has changed. The question is whether we learn to conduct or just get swept off the stage.
A sobering thought to end on. We'll be watching closely to see who survives the reality check. Thanks for listening.